Hey, family. I am so happy to be here again with you on this episode. I'm so happy to be here again. So, today, I am here to encourage you and to empower you in your life because I want you to live a great life and to find quality of that great life, quality of life. So today, I am going to teach you a little bit about anxiety. A little bit about anxiety. And I always say a little bit because I want to give you just enough so that you are educated, but not overwhelmed. And remember, I want to talk to you just as if this is something that you have been doing for all of your life. I don't want this to be off-putting. I don't want you to feel like it's like I'm speaking in another language. No, we see each other. We see each other. And so, as I said, I want you to be empowered with this information. So we'll talk about anxiety. On the very first episode, I believe I talked about the difference between mental illness and mental health, because this lifestyle that we are a part of, family, is the mental health lifestyle. We are making mental health our lifestyle. In that episode, I talked about anxiety, but I only talked a little bit about it. I talked about all different mental illnesses, mental disorders. So I wanted to talk a little bit more, and I'm going to tell you why this was the first disorder that I decided to talk about. It was because one of you, family, wrote in to the podcast and you asked the question. So I'm going to tell you what the question was. But guess what? Before I do that, what I need you to do, family, is to click that button. What is it? The subscribe button, and ring that bell so that every time there's a new episode, you will be aware that you get a notification, because we in this together. I need you. And hopefully one day you'll say to me, well, Andrea, the information that you give me is helpful to my life, and I want it in my life. So then hopefully we can help each other. So keep me here by liking it and hitting that bell for the notification. And you can do that on YouTube and on your podcast, wherever podcasts are found. So let's get back to the question. The reader sent in a question and she said, I would like to know, Andrea, how do I handle anxiety if I don't want to take medication? Ooh, I loved it. I'm saying, I'm making that noise because I love it. I love it when you're engaged and you ask me questions. And let me just tell this to you. If you have any other questions that you want me to answer, please email the podcast, MHIAL podcast @gmail.com. MHIAL podcast @gmail.com. So that's the email to the podcast. So let me tell you a little bit about, first, I'll start off with anxiety. Even though I talked about this before, but I always love to give this example, the whole example of just being a little person. I like to start back there when let's just say you were a little person and you were in school and it was time for a play. Like there was a play that you were supposed to have. And let's just say all of the kids were lining up to go, do this school play. And as you were in line, the teacher told you that they wanted you to be a lion. They wanted you to be a lion. And so now it was time for you to get on stage, and all of you were lining up, all the little kids, you and your friends, and everybody got these butterflies in their stomach. You had the butterflies in your stomach. Okay, that makes sense because we're nervous. That means that you guys were anxious, which is normal. So I just need to let you know that anxiety is normal, that every single human being has anxiety. Anxiety. But there's a normal range and an abnormal range of anxiety. Okay. And we're going to kind of talk about that. So let's just say everybody's in line. Everybody gets the butterflies. Oh my God, we nervous. Got to get up on stage. Ooh, I don't know what's going to happen. And then you have all of these fears in your head. So you may have a fear like, oh my God, the stage is going to fall in when I get up there. Oh my goodness, they're going to laugh at me when I get up there. Oh, they're going to make fun of me. Oh, they're going to hit me in the head with apples when I get up there. So you're just nervous. Your mind just goes, oh, I'm going to forget how to roar like a lion when I get out there. So these are all the fears that are going on in your head. It may be the little kids next to you and the little kids behind you. But then what happens is you get out on stage, and as you start to perform and you stand up and you get ready to start doing your whole lion thing, as you start to do it and you get ready to roar, but you're nervous, and you start to notice that everybody in the audience is smiling, and your friend's sister and cousin, they winking at you. And then you got the other person over here, your neighbor, they have a camera. Not a camera, I'm going to say it's a cell phone nowadays, and they're recording you, and people are standing up trying to see. And so then you realize that all of those fears that you had about being hit in the head, but people throwing stuff at you and people laughing at you, were irrational. They were out of proportion with the task that was going on today. They were irrational fears. So your brain starts to work it out and realize those were irrational fears. I can stop fearing that. And when you let those things go, this is just what your brain does, because your brain is miraculous. Then that anxiety goes right back down to nowhere. And then when the teacher points at you, child, to do that raw, you do the loudest, rawest possible. You turn out to be the best tiger, Tony the tiger that there ever was. Okay. Because the anxiety and the fear just went away when you realized that you weren't in danger. Okay. So now we can take that example and we'll go a little bit further. Because although your anxiety went down, there may have been another kid or maybe two in the classroom that, although they realized that the floor didn't fall in, that they didn't get hit in the head with apples, that people weren't laughing at them, but they realized all of that so that their fears didn't come to fruition. And yet still, when they're walking off the stage, the whole time they were up there and as they're exiting, they are still feeling the same amount of anxiety than they did before they went on stage. Oh, okay. So now, this is, let's just say, the difference between someone that has a biological predisposition to have higher anxiety. That's all. They just wired in the way. Some of us are wired, built, DNA, built genetically to have higher anxiety than others. Just that simple. Just like some of us, there's a predisposition, a genetic predisposition to have higher cholesterol than others, or a genetic predisposition to have higher diabetes. It's just in our genes. So some of us, that's just how we made up. We're wired to have higher anxiety than others. So when people come into my office, I like to explain that to them. First of all, normalize it. Everybody has anxiety. However, some of us are wired to have higher anxiety than others. And when you know that, then now, yeah, you're in a powerful place, because I'm here to let you know that you can do something about it, that there is help, and I'm getting ready to help you today. So, for someone who has really high anxiety, and usually what this could look like is a sense of feeling, restless, always feeling restless. And usually, let me say this to you, there's a precipitating event. There's something that's happening, or a thought that just occurred. There's usually something that just happened, or something that we had just thought about, that all of a sudden activates our sympathetic nervous system. It's our nervous system. So it activates it, and it says, and somewhere in that brain it says, danger, danger. Just imagine just red lights, danger, danger. And this just could come from a thought or something that maybe somebody saw. Just a little thought or something, an event that just happened that you were caught up in. And so all of a sudden in your mind, danger, danger, right? This is red lights. I'm just imagining your mind. And then your body just starts to move and pucker and move and pucker and pucker. And then as it starts to move and generate, then all of a sudden you start to feel restless. And you have an increased heart rate. Some people have an increased heart rate. Some people start to breathe rapidly, right? Some people start sweating. You start having sweats and you can't control your sweats, right? And then you start to feel fear, just this intense fear. Although we'll talk about it because some of the fear can be rational. So remember, if we went back to the kids when they were getting ready to get on stage, you could be laughed at, so it is a fear and it will come up if, let's just say, you were laughed at before, because our brain is so powerful that it will store that memory. And anything that looks like you're getting ready to be in that same situation, any situation that you're in where it looks like you're about to be in that same situation, it will trigger that sympathetic nervous system and the brain goes danger, 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 right? And you start feeling these symptoms. Sometimes you have trouble concentrating. You cannot concentrate, can't concentrate at all. And let me just let you know that you can also have gastrointestinal problems. If you ever think about maybe performing one of those little kids or later in life, if you needed to perform, but we'll go back to that. We'll go back to that example. I was going to relate that example to if you're working and you have to like do a presentation. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but one time, like you all of a sudden have to go to the bathroom, like you all of a sudden have to poo all of a sudden. Yeah, because there's a direct connection from your brain to your stomach and from your stomach to your brain. It actually reacts. So anywho, those are symptoms of having high anxiety, right? So now, first we normalize that everyone has anxiety, but then also that some people have a genetic predisposition to have higher anxiety than others. And then I talk to you about the different symptoms of having anxiety, okay? So just making sure that all of you guys are with me. And having anxiety can really interfere with your daily activities to the point to where you wouldn't even want to engage in some of these daily activities because of fear or the amount of anxiety, especially if you have issues with your stomach. Then you feel, I better not go because I just don't know when it's going to come, when it's going to burst. So it really can impede on your functioning and interfere with daily activities. So that is the truth. But this is what I like to do to teach you how to manage anxiety. Because just because some of us are wired to have higher anxiety than others does not mean that it has to stop you from living a life. And it doesn't have to stop you or rob you of quality of life. Because remember, that's what you're going to learn here, how to expand on your quality of life. So I like to teach you, and you, my family, and my clients, my families too. But I like to teach you, I want you to imagine a scale. So if you can imagine a scale, and at the top of the scale, let's just say up here, we'll start this off. This is the anxiety scale. And at the top of the scale, this is a 10. So up here, you got panic. And then at the bottom of the scale, this is a 0. And down here, you're at calm and peace. Just calm and peace. So of course, wouldn't the goal be in life to just live life at calm and peace? That's the goal. I don't know how many people do that, but that's the goal, because life happens. Stuff happens in life, to raise that anxiety, that scale all the way up, peaking, peaking, peaking. However, but the goal is to keep that anxiety, that scale, to keep your numbers as low as possible. So I'll tell you this. If you're wired to have higher anxiety because of the genetic predisposition, meaning either your mother has high anxiety or your father has anxiety, then that came from either their mother or their father. It's kind of passed down in the genes. So if there's a genetic predisposition, then let's just say when you wake up in the morning, if we went to that scale, you would probably be on that scale. So remember, you got calm and peace. Now, some people wake up and they at a 0 or they're at 0.5. They just wake up and they don't have a bit of anxiety. It's all the way down. And it would take an event to actually get a spike out of the anxiety. But for people who are wired to have higher anxiety, when you wake up, you may wake up at a 3. This is just, you just woke up, put your foot on the floor, and your anxiety already at a 3. So you're like, oh, okay, all right. But I want to tell you, instead of being mad, don't be mad, be glad, because I got you. So if you know that, as soon as you get up now, what that looks like is I'm already looking for a reason to be scared. I'm already looking for a problem. I'm already looking for a reason to find something to not like or to not that's going to go wrong. I'm just searching. That's usually an indication of that. So then what you do is, and I need you to hear me on this, you go reaching for your phone. You go reaching for your cell phone, and you picking up your cell phone, and now you go to Instagram, TikTok, where all these social media apps, and you start comparing yourself to other people. And now that anxiety is now, where is it? It started at 3 when you opened your eyes. But now that anxiety is already at a 5. Now remember, 10 is panic. Okay, so come with me on this. So now you're scrolling and now okay, I better get off of here because now my chest is hurting. It's starting to sweat. Okay, so now you get off the Instagram or the TikTok or whatever it is, Facebook, whatever you on, because you was comparing yourself. Okay, now, so you put that down, thank God. So now you at a 5. Okay, now you got to get up. So then you go to put your feet on the floor, but then you realize, oh my goodness, I'm about to go into this office today, or I'm about to log in and I probably need to see, did I get an email this morning from my boss or my counterpart? So you go to your email. Now you just woke up, not even 6 minutes ago. Okay. So you go, now you're looking in your email and now you got all of these emails and now your mind is just going pew, 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 pew. The mind, them red lights coming on in there. The red lights is coming on. Panic, panic. The lights coming on. So as the lights on the inside, y'all, catch me, stay with me. The lights coming on, panic, panic, because now I'm seeing all of these things in this fear. I got this intense fear. And this is your subconscious, honey. Your subconscious is working with this anxiety. So the subconscious is, am I going to be enough? Will I be able to finish this in time? Will I get ready to do this project? Oh my gosh, I got a meeting with this person. I don't even like him. Oh my goodness, I got a meeting with this person. I have to hand her. You're starting to go run down the rabbit hole of all of the worst case scenarios. So where's that anxiety now on that scale? It's at a 7.5, almost an 8. Remember, panic is at the 10. Okay, so now you at a 7.5 and you ain't even started your day. All right, then you get up. Now, let's just say you get up, you get in the shower, hopefully, you go to put your clothes on or whatever that deal is. Let's just say, because life happens. You get ready to go to your car if you have to drive into work nowadays and you see traffic. Now you thinking, I got a meeting. So now, am I going to get there? How can I reroute myself? Where's that anxiety at now? It's at an 8.5. Y'all remember, 10 is panic. A panic attack. 10 is at the top. Anxiety attack is at the top. So now, what do? Oh my God, I'm at an 8.5. Or let's just say you stayed home. When you stayed home and you went to log on, something went wrong with the internet. Because Miss Paula in 12B, she used the internet and got her nieces and her grandmothers, and then Ralph over in 13C, he's using, so all your internet is messed up and you can't even sign on and the meeting's about to start. So whichever way, you still at an 8.5, almost hitting on 9. So then all of a sudden, I'm just going to say you in the car almost going to work and somebody cuts you off because life happens. You remember I told you life happens, right? So somebody cut you off. But where's your anxiety on that scale? Not you at a 9, you almost hitting panic attack. So no wonder when you get into the office finally and somebody steps on your shoe, you sweating, you can't breathe, you having a full-blown panic attack. That's how it works, y'all. So this is the goal, and this is what I'm going to teach you, is how to keep that anxiety low. The goal is to keep your anxiety on that scale under a 4. I wouldn't care if you do have a genetic predisposition to have higher anxiety and you wake up at a 3. We're going to do some work, do some readjustment to get that number down. And even if you woke up at a 3, we still ain't going above a 4. Okay, boo? Because I got you. So now, here are 4 things that you can do when you start to feel panic. And I want you to do this stuff regularly. You have to be proactive. You got to get in front of any kind of mental health concerns. Get in front of it. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. However, the skills that I teach you, you can use them when you're reactive too. And then you're going to set your pre-activation. You got me? Because pretty much what I'm going to teach you how to do is to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your calm. That is your peace. That's that 0 at the bottom, 0.5, your parasympathetic nervous system. And you can do that by number 1, deep breathing. Deep breathing. So people think it's woo-woo. Oh, and it's something that only monks do. Lies, lies, lies. You sit yourself still and you ground yourself. You put your phones away, any type of stimulants, TV away, and you sit still and quiet and ground yourself with deep breathing, concentrating on breath, not shallow breath. Shallow is, deep is. So when you think of a deep breath, just imagine a balloon being inside your chest and you want to fill the balloon all the way up and then hold it and then release that air out of that balloon. That will reset your parasympathetic nervous system. That will bring you to calm and peace. If you say, okay, Andrea, if I can do that, then what else? I want you to exercise. I need you to get into a regular exercise routine. Walking is amazing because walking is grounding. Get out and walk. Move your body. I'm not talking about high intensity for anxiety. I don't need you going off the wheels, off the road, off the highway. I need you to ground. And grounding is a great walk, a nice paced walk, because then you start to feel the ground up under your feet, and your subconscious can tell your anxiety that we safe. Like we good. I feel grounded. I feel safe. I don't feel like I'm lost and I don't have any control. I feel like I'm in control. And then another thing that you can do is, this is number 3, is you're going to do the 5-5-5s. So anytime that you are high on that scale, when you high, you was at that 9, you was at that 8, anything over a 4, I want you to kind of stop. You can do your deep breathing. You can do your walking. That's going to bring you down. That's going to bring you down. But sometimes when you're really high, you may need to have a jolt. And a jolt is the 5-5-5. And I love the 5-5-5. 5-5-5 is, I need you to find 5 things that you can smell that's around you, 5 things that you can see, and 5 things that you can touch. And when you identify the 5 things that you can actually smell, take your time, be present, and smell them one by one. Identify everything that you can smell. Like this amazing candle. It's my candles. You can get it at my website, awisebrown.com. Ooh, it burns clean. Slice of happiness makes me so happy. I could smell all the notes, but I digress. Let me come back to you. So you want to identify all of the smells that you can smell. 5 things. Then 5 things that you can see. If it's a tree, the type of tree. What do the branches look like on the tree? What does the leaves look like? I want you to examine 5 things on the tree, and then I want you to find 5 things that you can touch. And you feel them and engage with them. And whatever those fears are, the things that your subconscious keeps telling you about what we need to fear, what we need to fear, anxiety and what we need to fear. You engage in the feeling of all of those things, of 5 things. The smelling, remember that? And then the things that you're seeing, all 5 of them. That's going to ground you because it's going to bring you to the present moment, the present moment. And that's why meditation is so great. Meditation. And you can do meditation, which is really about your deep grounding breathing, those deep breathing, which is what I told you in number 1. That still brings you to meditation. It brings you to the present moment. And then the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is reality testing. I need you to stop and ask yourself, when you have those fears. So let's go back to, I don't know, one of those emails that you received. Remember when you were at the side of your bed, when the anxiety started going up and you saw an email that you needed to meet with somebody and the fear was telling you, anxiety was whispering to your subconscious, oh my God, you're going to mess this up. Oh my gosh, they're not going to be pleased with you. Oh my gosh. Then you stop it and you do reality test. Let me reality test this. Is this real? You say to yourself, do I know that fear to be 100% true? Do I know it to be 100% true? And if I don't, maybe it's 60 or 70, then I'm not entertaining it because it's not a fact. See, I love the fact check. I live for facts, honey. Yeah, I live for facts. So you do some fact checking, which is reality testing. Do I know that fear to be 100% true? Talk to yourself. It's okay. It's healthy. And then when you say, no, I don't, not really. Why am I entertaining that? It's not a fact. So I'm going to let it go. I am choosing to let it go. Okay, y'all. So there you go. I was here today just to kind of tell you a little bit about anxiety and how you can handle anxiety without taking medication. I'm going to go back over them. Gave you 4 things. Number 1, I said deep breathing. Deep breathing, which is also can be seen as meditation. But deep breathing, because you want to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Number 2, I want you to exercise regularly, grounding, some good, nice pace walking. Number 3 is the 5-5-5. Please, y'all, do that 5-5-5. It works. I promise you it works. And then number 4 is reality testing. Do I know that to be 100% true? Because if I don't, boo, I'm not thinking of that. I'm letting it go. All right, y'all. So there you go. Those are your tools to keeping yourself healthy and to keeping that anxiety down where? Low, down low. We want to keep it in a healthy space on the scale. Keep it under 4. And I want to say this. It is okay to also take anti-anxiety medication. There is nothing wrong with resetting your neurotransmitters with anti-anxiety medication. And let me tell you something. If you're prescribed the medication, sometimes you can prescribe medication that you will take every day, which is slow release. It has a slow release, so it kind of helps you and keeps you on that low on that scale every day throughout the day. You can take a pill every day if your doctor prescribes it. And then if you don't want to do that, let's just say you don't really need it every day. You would say, well, what I really need it for is in certain moments when I feel overwhelmed and don't know what to do and I feel like I'm panicking and I don't want to panic. That's when you can be prescribed the medication that you would just take PRN as needed. Yeah, but we're not going to poop on anti-anxiety medications because they do work and they do change lives. I know plenty of professionals, millionaires billionaires who take anti-anxiety medication, C-suiters, and they're doing well and they have high performance. So don't poo on anti-anxiety medication. But in addition with the medication, you also have these skills here that I provided for you. You hear me? So there are so many ways to get to where it is that you want to go. So we're not pooing on either way, but all of these things together is what you can use to keep your mind healthy and strong and ward off anxiety. All right, my loves, I'm so happy to meet with you again here today. I'm proud that you just keep showing up. And listen, if you have any questions that you want to send to me, remember you can email them to MHIALpodcast@gmail.com, MHIALpodcast@gmail.com. Email your questions. Please follow the podcast on social media, and that's spelled out. Mental Health is a Lifestyle Pod. Mental Health is a Lifestyle Pod. And if you want to find me, everything A Wise-Brown. A is in Andrea, Wise because I'm smart, and Brown because my face is brown. AWISEBROWN. All right, my loves, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next episode of Mental Health is a Lifestyle Podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown.